in the middle. That's 165. And then we have Trigger Warning by Mash. That's 150. And then we also have Infected Just by Slow. That's 180. So yeah, man. Yeah, Prince Zuko. Man, Prince Zuko. Like the last bender on this case.
I shift these themes. A skeptic to an orderly life, I order life. Neither this or that, but plenty. An iron fist and fluffy gloves. I devour whole halves for the happy.
While violets are blue. Roses, red is in the color but blood is. While there is silence in court, the streets means what violence is. Our sun's days are hung over the men in blue. Our Sundays end when the sun reflects the Monday blue. But it's been a long time since I did this, net, and today I'm so mean with it. I'm gonna bring back that whole roses are red syllable and do a whole kind of scheme with it. Let's go! Roses are red. Violets are blue. Roses have been red. Like tough weather, seasons change. When nightfall, even flowers petals shift, folding in. Even their colors cater for a different kind of shading. So like autumn, violets leave out of the blue. So now there's a place of blue talking in the midst of gunshot. I mean, it's not like food helps the day. So what can mere words do? What can words do? When temperature was show what the raga you body over one night of Labra see. Oh, to what Talam can you see, my good old Amparapara, Velocapukam, so accompany the Rogo Jata, we have to pass the book, I got it about this Jamo to Shamarapo or Haburoko, Bukana, Tatola, Shamarapo will be. Hoplo Kitipian will already Paranayata. Madam Mantulas Stadium, Sikula, Pishakan and Hara Soul. To be the one that's having to take it. Hey!
Chandita baca ko pisha mari di khareng di tsitswe di butswe di phatlalatjwe hempa ha le nna ke be ngwana magana go botswa ka bona ka o magara ko maketšešo tseba samma gore kgomo ke kgomo ge yeme ge o le ke nama ke tsebe samma ke go phagale taba ka taola tšešo tše ke fileng ke bešo ha ile nna ke seredi ke petha mme ke ka metlote moshalo Forgive me for worshipping at the altar of man's approval, but I've heard that your kingdom shall come and I've been waiting, Lord. I've been waiting for far too long, hearing the screams of my sisters while gasping for their last breath in the hands of their husbands. I know that your will shall be done, but every day I look at my brothers, taking things by their own will, using the very palm they press together to pray at times. Give us this day, Father, our daily bread. I asked the kid on the street corner what that prayer means to him and all that he spoke of. All that he spoke of were breadcrumbs and a whole lot of hopelessness, because to him daily bread doesn't come every day. And I didn't ask myself, how can our lives be forced when every day our fathers suffer that they have the right to remain silent? Maybe somewhere between cloudless sky we became wandering souls and my faith is running low. Lord, when I think of a 12-year-old playing a role of a mother and the daughter to her mother in the two-room shack, it shocks that the father created the rainbow as color blood, and I come before you, Lord. I am clothed with doubts, heartbroken, I'm a beautiful mess. You see, I'm a beautiful mess. Then I heard a voice of reason from the risen one saying unto me, my child, my dearest child, don't be childish. Before you can doubt me, you need to learn to doubt your doubts. And as for your faith, you need to consider the birds that fly in the sky without fear. Consider the blind man who had faith in my words before his eyes could see me. So how much more? How much more do you think that I cannot do for the ones that I died for? So go ahead and tell your sisters. Tell your sisters to be strong in the Lord and His mighty power. Tell them to carry up their shield of faith that extinguish all the flame from the evil one. Tell them that I've seen their struggles, and their tests will be turned into my testimony. The stories will be turned into my history. For I am the author and finisher of their lives, and I've never started a chapter that I cannot finish. I'm the Alpha and Omega of their lives, the overseer of it all, and I will bless them. I will bless them up until their cups overflows with my blessings and love. But as for your brothers, you need not to worry about them, for I've seen all they've done and still love them. I will woo them like a hopeful romantic. I will rescue them out of their sea of sins like a hands beneath a drowning soul. For I am the light too mighty for anything pitch black to trap their backs behind the cage they craved. And if they wait with hope, nailed to their faith, the truth, cross-stitch their barren bodies and their lives, stretching like the arms of an horizon, rising for all to see, that I, the son of the mighty Lord, still lives. But oh, go ahead and tell that young child. Tell that young child to take it easy, says I, the Lord his God. For I know the plans that I have for him. Plans to prosper him and not to harm him. Those that are to give him hope and a better future. Number 16 and number 17, tell him to trust in me. For I am the potter and mender of broken vessels. And I will mend him with gold. For I've promised not to leave him nor forsake him.
I know that's right.
My sister said, as you celebrate Heritage Day, remember that you're paying rent to a white man on your own land. I wonder...
Hey, sad.
Ke tsa bo mantšhege le bo matwetwe gona gore o ka dingala wa bona tje ge nka dingala nka thoma go topatša fase nka tama ke falatša merithitho ya theto ba re sereti segaketše gobane nna nka go reta wa šala o maketše nka go reta wa šala o re sereti be segaketše nna nka go reta wa retologa wa nkhwetša ke reteletša gobane ka theto ke bogale ba mpitša bogale ke riparele ka legale.
I'm sure I catch a body, and when they die, don't put a blame on me. I'm just doing the Lord's work, yo. Yeah. Stories of the fallen age revived to what's real. Shutting down the shakes, the pen he lied, then he died. Living us with shattered hopes and stole our dreams. What is love, yo? Is it the gifts or the sex? The games that we play, that we use it to relax. A complex, form too many veins to cause pain. Faster than trains on plot, packed to the closest rates of evil plan. Harvest your hearts like cannibals. Toxic with euphoria when everything is favorable. Now love, yo, is it radical or tangible? We stupid in morning just and grab it and just feel it. What is love, yo? It's a drug like cocaine. Put you on the high with life and picture perfect. Drop you on the point when you're really in the fix. What is love, yo? And emotions is something like, can I have her? Yes. Can I leave her? No. I just wanna be with her till the day that turn gold is in my folder. Then I'm gonna attract her to her. She makes my sunny day, but when your man is turning no cold, like, can I have her? Yes. Can I leave her? No. I just wanna be with her till the day that turn gold is in my folder. Then I'm gonna attract her to her. She makes my sunny day, but when your man, yo. Hey yo, le rato ke kgarebe ya mabona when she blush. Adrenaline rush to the heart, I wanna crush. When she walks like a step on X beyond the typical.
Phoenix, he comes through. As a sage, he's Sag, I guess Sagittarian. But it is not just the arrow, but the bow that burns as well. Okay. And as it flies, it arches. The same way I bend fire, I emerge as Prince Zu.
Whose corners light up even when I have left 3 all over the house, uncovered. And I will look at myself over and over and over again for. I will choose lovers who embrace me. Across the room 5, there is room and space for me. Thank you.
Khopela sebaka bana ba khoshi ke khopela sebaka bana ba moshate mo ga ka tla go dula ke a tloga ke a tloga ke tlogela tletlolo ntlhurele dithabeng ga khoshi ra mmupudu bolewa boraro yena sia paratiko la nkwe bua ba re go mmane nnete sa kila ya madibeng ya bua topile letago na le di nna ke tagile go se ka mphatla tjane na kharbe sho ka mmala tsetlane msholi diatla
yang khakantša dinkisha tlhasele tetlolo ga ke tsebe pele le nthago a fale yang kona ke betlile lentšu le bogale šola ka magala mabedi selepe sa tlontlontšu nna ke romemang ga go befile ka tselae a mpuele le tše mosebo le nna ke latse menwana bothaka di o sale ba yele mošiwa dikokwele ge le ngwato yena o tšhile ka mmong wa seloko tše wena ke hwelang ke ripitlana fase le dikgopolo bakeng sa lerato a fa le yang kona pelo ya ka
Attaining black joy. Yeah. Can I want to feel it?
This is what.
Ooh, kings don't smile, né?
They don't.
Fuck Black Lives Matter. But for the sake of the movement, I'll say, Black Lives Matter. Black lives in the state of confusion. You were told you were black for the sake of amusement, or you forgot that you were put in a zoo then? How about the fact that wrestling was made up of you, man? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're a blind fool, and I'd rather we be blind than fools. So fuck Black Lives Matter. Because before we were black, we were kings and queens. Before we were black, we were sons and daughters of families. Before we were black, we had history. Before we were black, we had no enemy within. Before we were black, we told our own goddamn stories. Before we were black, we were family. Before we were black, our lives didn't matter. Because our lives were not black. So fuck Black Lives Matter.
Let's go!
For years, the black man has been fighting for the acceptance of Massa's notion. Massa needed a polar opposite, so his caucus concocted a concussion and created a black man. He cut off my mother's tongue, so I used his language. He forced his religion down my throat, so I abandoned my spirituality. He gave me a name, so I stripped off my identity. He killed my father, and I gave up my throne. He raped my sister, and through birth I fucked up my DNA. Cry all you want, but a wise man once said, still got this last name of a slave master, so that makes you a descendant. I know the war isn't between black and white, it's between right and wrong, but Indian, Caucasian, Latino, Canadian, but black and white? How about Caucasian and African? Hashtag that. Black lives will matter until the day we strip off Massa's notion and reclaim our identity, because there's nothing more superior than Africa, and that is what the problem is. It all started with us and it will all end with us. But for now, Black Lives Matter. Thank you.
Fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright.